My key responsibilities on set as the costume designer is to work with the director and the script and the actors. And as a costume designer, sometimes we're more like psychologists, figuring out our characters, where they would shop, what kind of clothes they would wear, how messy or neat they were, where their station in life. And basically, we set the time and the place with our costumes.
Generally, when I am hired for a job, my first meeting is with the director. By that point, I've read the screenplay, so you know, once the deal's made and you're starting to work, you begin a sort of visual, for me, I begin a visual kind of process for the film, how I see the movie, whether it's a combination of research, drawings, materials that all come together at once.
As a costume designer, you're head of a department, and often on a huge film, I've had up to 60, 70 crew members working below me, and so you have to be a leader, you have to be inspirational, you have to make sure you're getting the best work of everyone, out of everyone, and making sure that your crew is engaged in the work and wanting to do their best work.
Well, working with actors is a collaborative process. I mean, you'll usually find a character will grow in the fitting room. Quite often you'll have an idea of how you want a character to look, and then the actor's cast and you think, going to work. And when you'll talk through it and work out, and again, colouring and everything will all come from how the actor looks in something. Because
it's their performance on the screen that is the most important thing. So you have to help them create that character. You also have to be true to the script, and you have to be true to the director's vision. So it's a collaborative effort.
What I really like to do with talent is to really show them in the beginning what the whole movie looks like. I mean, they focus on who they are and who they want to be in the movie. Some people are interested in the rest of the movie, other people are not. It just depends on their process. But I like to show them the world that they're living in from a costume point of view.
I always say, as a costume designer, one of the most important skills is having flexibility and diplomacy skills. You really have to, because there's so many people involved, there's lots of opinions, you're working with the actor, director, producers, a studio, everyone's going to chime in with opinions about how characters look, and I think it's up to the costume designer to negotiate all of that, to sort of stick strongly to your ideas, but also be able to absorb other ideas.
So it's not just about just being creative. You very rarely get to draw anymore. I did on Parade's End, as it happens, but you very rarely get the time to do that. Everything is very last minute now. Casting is very, very late, so you have to be able to work fast and still keep your creative integrity.
Making a movie is, you have to have a good relationship, or a really working relationship with every department. The production designer, the hair and makeup people, the cinematographer, the director, the sound people even. They have to be able to hear them, so no aluminum foil costumes.
Well, I think the closeness with my collaboration with makeup and hair, again, comes from the director. If the director says to me, please deal with makeup and hair, I collaborate. I mean, I always collaborate with them, but there's some levels of empowerment because they are, their own department, and you always have to be careful because you can tread on some very thin ice in that area. In a perfect world, I have a lot to say about hair and makeup and sort of ideas for what I want for it. In another less perfect world, I have to suck it up and deal with whatever's going on.
Well, I'm always on set to establish new costumes, and always sort of looking through the camera and on the video monitors and making sure things are looking how we all want them to. And so in that sense, I'm working a lot with the cinematographer. We're making sure that the colors are working, the lighting's working, the clothes are looking how we want them to. And also, of course, the production designer. In pre-production, there's many conversations about the tone that we want to create for the film, the colors we want to use, the textures, the vibe.
We were concerned with historical accuracy, and we looked at original costumes as well to see how they're made. Also, all the usual suspects, we went on, obviously took things from the internet, and also I still find books really important, and paintings and photographs. So, and all of the above.
Well, the world has shrunk as far as what's available out there for materials. So oftentimes I embellish existing fabrics or create my own prints. When you do a movie like Snow White and you need 12 costumes or 20 costumes for one actor. And it's not out there. It's much simpler to sort of do a print on a simple fabric and make it, you know, you're always able to get it. If you need more, you can find it, and it can be more stimulating and fun for me in that way.
I trained in theatre and opera and ballet, but I actually chose to concentrate in film because I do love that sense of everything matters in film. You know, with a camera you can zoom in and get close to every single part of the human body, and you can tell if a shirt has been pressed or not pressed. You can tell if a shirt is dirty, if it has a coffee stain on the sleeve, or you can tell if shoes are cared for or neglected. You know, all of these little things that help give the audience clues about who the character is.
I always wanted to be a set designer and costume designer, even before I really knew what it was. I think an education is very important. A good basic education helps you. You know, when you're speaking to a writer or a director, to have a basic knowledge of history and costume history and what's going on in the world. What I always said when I was starting out, I would do anything. You know, that anybody, my first job in the costume world was I was a truck driver.
Do whatever you can do to work on a film and work very hard, because if you do well and you sort of express what you like, people will notice. You know, as lucky as we are to work on films, there's still people that get jobs on films that don't want to work that hard, and hard work is, I think, rewarded.
Everyone has a different perspective, different talents, a different angle on costume design, and so I think if you're true to yourself and you're very committed to who you are and pursuing that, you'll be doing original and different work from everyone else, and I think, you know, your work will get noticed. Keep at it, don't give up. It takes a lot of hard work, and it can often be quite a gradual climb up the ladder, but you're going to get there.